Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new, welcome if you're not new, and it's been a while. So September, I feel like it kind of came and went. The days that I had time, it wasn't for like filming, so I still kept up with my budget, or at least like tracking kept up with it, but not like the filming portions of it. So that's what we're gonna go over today. And before I get started, I wanted to thank Donna Jo for giving me a shout out on her channel. It was such a sweet thing for her to do. And I know that a few of you have come over from her channel. So welcome. Hi. I put out budget videos occasionally, like once or twice a month. And it's definitely been helpful because every time I write something down, I have to remember if I put this online, I may or may not have to explain myself. And that's okay because that's kind of the point of doing a budget. It's not like to write it down and ignore it. So, or at least for me, it's not. So anyway, this is the last month, September, for this particular journal. I've had this since last year, and the first month that I had in this was July of 2019. Was it 19? I think so. Yeah, 19. And I have loved it very much. So like this was my first basically budget spread, and this was August. I just dropped some lotion that was holding my my phone stand in place, and I've learned to use my washi over the months, and it's been really nice because I bought the washi to use. I need to just use it. So here I have September, and the color key is here on the side. So if it's in like this lime green color, that's what I consider no spend. If it's in like an orange or sort of orange color, it's a planned expense. Anything in this light purple is supposed to be unplanned. Income I have in a light green, and my debt payments are in pink. So not all of these colors are going to coincide with the calendar view, but that's okay because it makes sense to me. Total snowball payments for the month was $3.77 on my car, and I didn't make any snowball payments on my credit card. For my total expenses, it's $13.75. Total savings was $236. Food was $105. Total bills was $14.10, and I spent $18 in gas. I don't drive very much, but when I do drive, I eventually need to fill my tank. So these are my notes for the month, and that's my dog. Hold on. So these are my notes for September, and I like to keep track of what I'm doing from month to month, and it definitely helps me remember if like I did certain things, or like when I put the $236 into savings, like where is that money going. And I started using a weekly tracker that I'll show you in my other journal, where I will be moving more for the rest of the year basically, and then more permanently for next year. And yeah, so I can write my snowball payment of the $3.77. Yeah, I know, it's a big deal. So I don't use cash as often as I should, and I ended up being like $11 short. I tried going back into previous months, and I couldn't figure out where the $11 came from. So I am starting fresh for October, but at least I corrected the amount that I had for September. For my bill pay account, these are all my expenses that came out of this one. This is like my debit account essentially, and this is where I color code like the light green and the pinks for my debt payments and any income that's coming in. And I ended the month with $935, so that's pretty good. And for my Chase Rewards card, I was able to bring this card back to zero. I had previous debt from the past month, I had a return, I had some medical payments, miscellaneous payments. I finally got a surge protector, which is, let me see if I can grab it. It's this little guy here. It has 2 USB connections and 2 outlets, and I have this for like the top of my desk, so that way I don't have to crawl underneath my desk to plug my phone or plug my Fitbit charger. So it just makes it a little bit more convenient for something that's not a convenient thing. And I did bring that card back to 0, so that's good. And so this is gonna be my problem child. And for the month of October, I have some plans for this card, but it's not very good. So this card, I started the month with $42 in debt. I bought a phone case for my phone. For those of you that have followed me for a while, my phone broke, and then I was using an older phone, and Best Buy was having a deal on the Pixel 4a, so that was the phone that I ended up getting and that I'm currently using to film. And the phone has been awesome, which is great, but I needed to get a phone case. I also need to get a screen protector. So those are little things that I need to get, but and I should have gotten the screen protector this month and I didn't. So that's definitely on me. The phone itself cost, with tax and everything, $321.74. The phone was retailing for $299, and I felt like for what I'm looking for in a cell phone, it comes with enough bells and whistles and like basic things. And everything I use is Google, so it just made sense to just switch from a Samsung phone to a Google phone. So the transition is really smooth on that point, and all I had to do was like learn the gestures for the phone. So I did get some clothes from Anthropologie on the 13th. I also got some planning supplies. I got food at E-Bar because I was running late and I forgot to eat breakfast. I got some food from Harris Teeter. I got some like bath supplies, like bath salts, and sometimes at work they sell like little tea satchels for your bathtub, and I don't take baths very often. I ended up splitting that stuff with a friend, like just giving her half of the stuff because I'm not going to take more than one of that thing. And when I put everything out into my bathroom, I realized I just like the look of it more than anything. So those items, some of those items may just be like decorative, and that's okay. So what else did I do? I went to Walmart. This was a adventure where I was looking for the Runts candy and I couldn't find it anywhere. And I finally found it at Walmart, so I bought like 10 boxes of Runts candy. And then candy corn and M&Ms. I was just like looking for a sugar high at that point. I went to Walgreens and I got my flu shot, so there's that. And here was me trying to pay back my flu shot because I brought my account to 0 and then I put money on it and then I had a balance. I got some face masks, just face masks. So I'm calling that like clothes / accessories. I found a face mask style that I really, really like. So I figured rather than try and make some for myself or getting them online, like they sell them at work, and the price that I would pay for work, I think is pretty reasonable. So that's what I did. I got like 5 face masks for that price, so I thought it was a good deal. And the phone cables, which was this basically. My Google phone has a USB-C charger or like insert, but it comes with a second USB-C. So I ended up getting a USB-A, so I learned all about phone cables. And that way I can plug my phone into the computer and into my car. So I ended up getting 2 cables. They were $20 each. Everywhere I looked online for like compatible phone cables said that some of them weren't working, and I didn't want to deal with the phone cable not working, so I just bought it straight from Google, and that way it will work no matter what. I also got some food for Lidl oh, I'm jumping ahead. I got some clothes from Lululemon because I really like their leggings. I'm going to be returning the top that I got. The 2 leggings I got from their like We Made Too Much section. So those I can't return, but they fit fine. The top isn't what I thought it was going to be, and I found some like dupes online, so I may get some of those instead for the same price. I love their leggings and their running shorts, and I know that they're expensive, but I also know when I get them, I don't have to buy like gym clothes or athleisure for at least a year or 2. Some of their leggings I've had for 6 years, and one of them, the first pair I ever got, I like a little hole tore in it, so I'm short. I was short 1 pair anyway, so it was mostly just to replace it, and then I ended up getting a second pair. So there's that, and I went to Lidl. Again, this was for our D&D night because my boyfriend and I played Dungeons and Dragons with some friends. I went to back to anthropology. We were having appreciation, so I got like a little small bowl so I could put the candy corn in because I was overdoing it on the candy corn, and a little pumpkin, like a dish, serving dish. It's really, really tiny. I'd be surprised if it holds like 12 ounces. But it's like oven proof and microwave proof, and I figure we can put like cheese dip in it or bisque in it and dip chips and things. So that way when we have our Dungeons and Dragons nights and we eat before, I can have like something pretty, like a presentation. I made a payment on my card to help pay for the masks. I was trying to like go backwards and pay certain things. And So I closed out my budget on the 29th, and then I went to work on the 30th, and I had a lapse in judgment, and I spent money. I woke up late. I tried to go to Starbucks because I had money on my Starbucks card, and the line for Starbucks was so long I couldn't do it. So I went to Whole Foods instead, and I got coffee, and it was like this giant 48-ounce container of coffee, and then I went to the Eat Bar and I got a bagel so I could like shove it in my mouth before I went to work. And then I bought 2 pairs of jeans and a face mask. These are some of the most expensive jeans I've ever spent money on, but I don't know if it's ever happened to you where when you buy something that you've been thinking about for a long time, suddenly your desire for other purchases kind of like go away. Like I'm always going to want clothes, but it's nice to look around and say, I don't need it. I don't need it. So I feel really good about the purchase. I've already worn them, so that's done at least. But it's just interesting the feelings that I get sometimes because I'm probably a shopaholic, and to know I made a purchase and I feel calm. Like I feel very good. I don't feel like the desire to get my hands on another item, so it's good. So for cash, and this is where I figured out my cash was off, I went to Harris Teeter and I got dish soap, and I thought I had $79 and some change, and it turns out it was $69 and some change. So now I have $63. For my sinking funds, sorry about that. For my sinking funds, I have started the month with $89, and then I made a transfer of $236, and I also made my debt payment for my flu shot from my sinking funds. So I'm ending the month at $283. And all of that to say, now we can go into my where did my money go worksheets. So this is a planner cover that I've had for about a year now, and these planner discs I've also had for about a year. They're the expander discs from the Happy Planner. I bought this at Michael's when it was on clearance for like $8, so I definitely think it was a well like worth the purchase because it's so big. So this is I bought the Where Did My Money Go worksheets from the Budget Mom, but I didn't start them in January. So what I did was I printed enough for the year, and then I went back and I filled all the pages in. So we're gonna flip into September. Where are we? September. Okay. So here's September. I started the month with a total income of, I guess my incoming income was $389.93. I needed to add at least $1,903 to break even for the month. And this month I decided I'm not going to worry about the change. So I like it because it makes my budget pages look a lot cleaner. So I think for the income I'm just going to leave the whole number. So if it's 50 cents and over, it's going to be the next dollar up. And if it's 49 cents and under, it's going to stay at the current dollar amount. So I added to my bill pay account $2,785. And for cash, I started with 69. And I made a note to myself that I need to start saving for my sinking funds because we're getting really close to the end of the year and I didn't really have anything saved. So my death wish came out, my health came out for my gym, my phone, I had a $20 activation fee that I thought was coming out in September, but it's not. It's actually going to be coming out in October. And then my car insurance. And those are all under my fixed expenses. So I budgeted $227 and I spent $205. For my variable expenses, I budgeted $100 for miscellaneous, but I spent $21. For gas, I budgeted $40 and I spent $18. For clothes, I budgeted $50, but I spent $532 like a fiend. And I still need to get a phone case. I totally overspent. I spent under on my hobbies, but I thought this was the place where I was going to be overspending. So it's interesting that I kind of went in a different direction. For food, I also overspent on food. I know most of this is candy, essentially. And for beauty, I wanted to get mascara for October, and I haven't gotten it yet, so it's something I still need to purchase. For health, I was going to spend $85, but the flu shot put me at $126. I was not planning on spending anything for meditation, and I spent $46. And then for home, I also didn't have any plans for spending anything on home, but I spent $13. So instead of spending the $420 that I had planned, I spent $933. For my debt, what I do for my debt is I break down the payments that I plan, and then on this, so when I put my total here, I'm not including my allergist payment because that's going on my Chase Rewards card. So these are my actuals for my debt payments. And then for savings, what I did was I fully funded certain savings. So I fully funded my World of Warcraft for February. I fully funded my January gym fee. And I also fully funded my Barkley fee that's coming up this November. So for the total month of September, I had an income of just over $3,000 minus my total expenses, and this is with my credit card payment. It was $288.8 and I was left with around $277, not including my credit card payment. My total expenses was $1,375. I'm still struggling to add this number up because I realized I do like using my credit card for certain expenses. It helps me track the expense and then I get the points, but I realize it's only effective if I keep the lowest possible balance and I pay that off before the interest hits. So like my Chase Freedom card, for example, because I basically paid everything on that card except for the blouse that I plan on returning, and I plan on doing that today. So when the account hits, I should have, for the statement balance, I should have a $0 balance. And then this was like random math that I had done that I thought the numbers were one thing, and then because I haven't posted in a while, I now understand where some of the numbers are coming from, so I'm not going to bore that information for you. So this is something I'm going to be doing for the month of October. It really helped me visualize how much money I had in September. I tried also to do it for August, but it just didn't work out. So for the month of September, there are 5 weeks. I'm just going based on, and this month I did Sunday to Saturday. I didn't care how many days were in that week. I was just going to count it as a week. So for fixed expenses was $227, and I spent $35, so I was left with $192. And then as an example, I took this $192 and then I put it as my start for week 2. And then I just kind of did my math based on that. So the first week was 1 through 5. This next time was 6 through 12, then 13 through 19, 20th through the 26th, and then the last week of the month was 27 through 30. And here, there's a 0 that I had to white out where I closed my budget on the 29th, and I thought I was doing really well, and it turns out I wasn't. So now I know for next time, definitely don't close the budget out until the month is officially over. So what I did, I added up all these numbers, and I came up with a balance of a negative $141.51. So I definitely overspent. Even though my income to spending ratio is under, I totally overspent this month. I was absolutely ridiculous. So there's that. For my first Where Did My Money Go worksheet in the month of September, this is my total income, $31.65, and sorry, I moved my paper over too far. So my miscellaneous, I like how some of the budgets where I thought I was overspending, I'm at barely a percentage or 3%. It's still a lot of money because I don't need to spend money on food, but I did. But at the end of the day, it's really not that much money compared to what my income is. For my debt, I know that this number could be a lot lower, but since I'm also putting some of these expenses on the credit card, that's why this number is so high. And so basically for this number, for example, the 48%, when I go to my Where Did My Money Go breakdown debt to savings ratio, it's basically 48 minus 21. Although not really. This number is also still wrong. I still have to add the September payments that I didn't do. So let me see if I can get that added real quick. Okay, I figured out the math. So my Chase Freedom card, I actually spent, after adding what I spent on the 30th, was $877, which brings my total debt percentage to 28%. So I would have to do 55 minus 28% to get 27%, and that's what technically I spent on debt, but it's not because I'm still putting this amount on my Freedom card, and I didn't actually bring it down to 0 for the month of September. So I feel like it's a little bit confusing, but it's not something that I'm worried about. For my savings, my World of Warcraft, I did 78% or $78, and I wrote here the numbers on the side of when the amount is due. So I saved 7% of my income this month, which is a big deal. And for all of these items, I did okay. I liked seeing the $99 is really just 3% of my income, because I don't know, it doesn't look so daunting to save money in that sense. And then I also saved an extra $9 because I figured I used like part of the $41 essentially for my flu shot. So in case there's like some other random little miscellaneous thing that comes up, the $9 can go towards that. Then I also corrected this amount on this side of my debt payment of the $1,736 minus, and this is my difference from last month, and it's 55% of my income. And then the last page is September, August to September comparison for the last Where Did My Money Go worksheet. For last month, my income was $1,758, and this month it was $3,212, so I have a difference of $1,454. For, like, this now needs to change. So debt, and this is wrong. So for debt, I spent, where is it, $1,736. My percent was 55. And now I have to do, let's see, where is it, let's say 791 minus 1736. And that's a difference of 945. So I spent more this month. So I'm gonna put that in red. 945. Oh, that means this number, did I update this number, 532? Yes. So these numbers have all been corrected, the food and the clothes, and now my debt has been corrected, so that's good. So yeah, so I feel like it could have been better. It could have also been a lot worse, but at least September's done, and we're just gonna close it out. So stop spending money on clothes. You have to stop. This is a message to myself, from me to me. Oh my gosh. So, and if I do spend money, it better be in cash with money that I saved for spending on clothes, so, or accessories. So that is my September budget closeout. I did okay. Also not okay, but this is where I am right now. And I will see you in October, my October budget review, if you're interested in seeing where I plan on spending my money in October. Okay, have a great day. Bye.